Are you planning on reading a book lately? Well, if you are, there are books that people would recommend avoiding. Unless, of course, you want to cast a spell, summon a demon to do you biddings, or even get yourself killed, then these books are perfect for you. Cursed and evil books that people allegedly died after reading them. So here are 10 of the most cursed and demonic books to ever exist. The Codex Gigas, or what most people would like to call it, the Devil's Bible. This book weighs 165 pounds, has 310 sheets made of calfskin, and it is 3 feet in height and 36 inches in length, making it the largest medieval manuscript in the world, hence the name the Codex Gigas, which means the giant book. 12 sheets of the book are missing, or rather stolen, but who stole them and what was their purpose is unknown. The book has a unified look, as the nature of the writing is unchanged throughout, showing 0 signs of age, disease, or mood on the author's part, and that led people to think that the book was written in a short period of time. But scientists, after investigating the book and trying to rewrite it themselves, say that the book would have taken 20 years to be completed, which contradicts the fact the nature of the book's writing remained the same throughout these 20 years. But one person can't write a book for 20 years non-stop in the exact same way, without a single error. Legend has it that the author was a monk who broke his monastic vows and was sentenced to be walled up alive. But in order to avoid this harsh penalty, he promised to write, in one night, a book to glorify the monastery forever. And this book will contain all human knowledge. But at midnight, the monk realized that he cannot complete this task, at least not by himself. So he prayed a special prayer, but not addressed to God but to the devil himself, asking him to help him finish this book in exchange for his soul. And the devil obliged, and he completed the entire book. There's a full-page portrait of Satan inside the book, but that page was not added by the devil, but by the monk, in order to show his gratitude for the devil for his aid. The manuscript is now preserved at the National Library of Sweden in Stockholm, where it is on display for the general public. The Orphans Book. It may seem innocent. A story about an orphan ends up in a list of the most cursed books. Well, there's a twist. The orphan story was written in the early 1600s. It tells the tale of an orphan who leaves Spain at age 14 to seek adventure in the Spanish colonies and collect his fortune. The orphan eventually becomes a monk, but the monk supposedly breaks his sacred vows to God. But it doesn't end there. The origin of the curse that's attached to this book is unknown. It might have started way after the book was written, and has nothing to do with a monk who broke his vows. Regardless, the book is sinister to say the least. It has an unknown past, as it was lost for more than 400 years, and up until recently no one has ever read the book, and even the publishing of this book in 2018 has fallen multiple times, because those involved kept dying under mysterious circumstances. So, are you willing to read a book that has taken 400 years for someone brave enough to read it? Shams AlMaref. This book was written by a man called Ahmad al-Buni. It is a manual of achieving esoteric spirituality and is generally regarded as the most influential textbook of its type in the Arabic world. It is also believed to be the most dangerous book known to mankind. Ahmad was a wanderer. In addition to that, he used to contemplate and pray all alone in the mountains, isolated from all living creatures. which made people think that all this time he spent alone in these mountains gave him the ability to communicate with the jinn. The original book can't be found, only the copy. Some say the book was buried with its author. Others say it was taken by the jinn, so no one will be able to communicate with them, because the book can give the reader some kind of authority over the jinn. They don't want that, so they hid the book. Here is a story of a guy who read the book and his life turned upside down. He was reading the book when he stumbled on a chapter where he can propose to a very beautiful jinn. Out of curiosity, he performed the ritual exactly the way it was written in the book. Nothing happened at first, but days later he started feeling like someone is sharing his bed. After a while, the feeling of a presence turned into hearing what sounds like someone breathing next to him. It didn't stop there. Things got even more frightening. A very beautiful woman dressed as a bride suddenly appeared in his room. That's when he realized the ritual worked. He is now married to a jinn. The boy's father eventually wanted him to get married, not knowing what his son got himself into. A day before the wedding, a disaster struck. The bride and her father died in a car accident. The groom and his father were suddenly, permanently paralyzed. The jinn wife had her revenge from the boy for attempting to marry another woman. Another story of a girl who had her entire face burnt, without ever going near any flames. All she did was read the book. Almost every person who comes in contact with this book either dies or is permanently deformed. The Untitled Grimoires, or the Book of Spells, is a textbook of magic written in the 1960s by a priestess of Wiccan, who is a leader of a coven. The book includes instructions on how to create magical objects, how to perform magical spells and charms, how to summon or invoke supernatural entities such as angels, spirits, demons, and even how to perform exorcisms. In 2013, an online book retailer sold 2 handwritten manuscripts written by a high priestess of Wicca to a mysterious buyer for nearly $14,000. As the sale was being finalized, the retailer warned that non-believers should not mess around with these books, as it would bring about a deadly curse. On the first page of the book, the Wiccan herself wrote that proceeding with the book may have serious consequences. She wrote, "To those not of the craft, the reading of this book is forbidden. Proceed no further, or justice will exact a swift and terrible retribution, and you will surely suffer at the hand of the craft." The Lesser Key of Solomon. It is a cursed grimoire of demonology. Its original authors are unknown, and it is said to be comprised of texts compiled sometime in the 17th century. The book contains passages on how to conjure spirits of the dead and demons, and how to control these entities to do your bidding. The ancient text also contains curses and invocations, esoteric topics like how to become invisible, how to locate missing or stolen items, and love potions recipes. Those who have owned it have reported strange occurrences, like pages turning on their own, books flying violently across the room. Strange whispers and shadow creatures have also been reported. If you were able to find any of these books and decided to read them, do it at your own risk, but make sure to say your goodbyes before you do it. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it and you want more top 5 type of content, make sure to like the video. And while you're down there, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss any of our uploads.